a big strength, because at any point, if we do have something like this, right, very good chances we'll get a lower low in Bitcoin, right? Which means at the same point, I'm still tracking the dollar index. And the dollar index is still currently, let's actually check our trends here, still currently in trend, right? Which means there's still, again, a possibility, and it's actually on support right now. It actually shows us we had it's a big day today. It's very likely we're going to see a higher time frame break of structure very soon, possibly from today, right? But you can see over here that we're right on support on the dollar, right? So we want dollar to, you know, if it strengthens, market's very likely to come down, and if it weakens, that's a good sign, specifically on the mid to higher time frame, because this can be multiple days to multiple weeks of downside in the dollar, right? So that's at an interesting point where there's a big make or break level here today. Okay, gold is starting to bounce, which is irritating me because I'm shorted at the moment. I'm short right up here, guys. Why are you bouncing now, gold? Let's not do this right now. I'm short up here, actually. I got the short right on resistance, and I'm sitting with a stop loss over here. Where is my stop loss? My stop loss is at 4351. 4351. Now, I do think gold's going to turn at some point, okay? But I do want to explain to you why quickly. I just thought of this play here. Is this over here, right? We are still at the key resistances of a possible pull down to a higher low. So gold, my thought process is this, right? Is we do have this rally up, but at the same point, for as long as we have resistance, this possibility. But today could be a big make or break changer when it comes to that. So we'll keep in mind on that, and silver as well. Silver right into resistance at this point. Okay, so just going through a couple of traditional markets to see where things are at. Oil is not looking great at all. Oil's last 618. However, last line of support is down here. If not, we're going back down to the 50s. All right, so again, also just showing that there might be some strength today. If not, things are looking good, and we can definitely see some upside. So let's now jump into the Bitcoin chart. This is where we are at right now when it comes to Bitcoin. Okay, so let me just get my bearings here. There we go. Okay, here's the daily here. So we're sitting basically with three big resistances. The one we broke through, which was at 64.65 that we spoke around. Then we're sitting at the one at the 66.67, and then we got one higher at 70,000, right? Let's quickly have a look. Let me just get this up here. I just want to have a look at where liquidations are sitting. Just bring this up here. Okay, let's have a look and see where liquidations are sitting. Okay, so we're sitting on the shorter time frame at 66,400. Right, we are then, if we start to zoom out, okay, we've just taken a bit of this yellow pull out here at 65,000. Let's zoom out, kind of just scoping every day. Money's moving all over the place at the moment. Okay, not too much here on the 3-day. Let's go to the weekly. Okay, and weekly, we're still obviously sitting down at 62,000. Right, so this for me is still a concern. Now, again, the more the market chops around, right, gives us opportunity for these pools to start disappearing. Right, and that's what I want to see. For me to turn bullish, to say, hey, we're not going to come down and grab this liquidity, right? I want this chop to start getting people to change their minds, right? And the more they start changing their minds, and we start to see this disappear, and we actually start to see yellow to the upside, right, that's something that I kind of want to see. But still, as we zoom out here, we are still seeing, specifically in the mid time frame, right? And what I mean by mid time frame, next 2 weeks, we're still seeing a bunch of liquidity sitting down there. But then if we start looking at a little bit higher, let's say, and say, hey, let's look at the next month to 2 months, right? You can start to see this, right? There's a big amount at 68,000. So that's interesting. And then we've got a massive amount at 78,000. So again, next 2 weeks, this is where I see the bears have a chance to get a new low, right? But if they don't do the next 2 weeks, it's very likely the bullish play is coming in, right? And we're going to start hunting down into the 70,000s, if not back at 80,000, right? So that is currently where the mindset for me is at right now. Now, if we look at this over here, we have lost the first short-term trends. So it's showing us that the bears are now starting to step in, okay? And we're starting to lose some steam, all right? Then we need to speak around the supports, right? So as it stands right now, there's a support here at this area of 64,000, okay? If we hold the support of 64,000 and we bounce here, and we can break through these new highs, very likely we're going to push up to these areas of 70,000. right? Which means now, again, I'm going to give you different scenarios, but with those scenarios, I'm going to give you ideas of how you can trade this, right? So if this is one of the first plays here, I'm going to now bring up a different chart here that's a little bit cleaner, right? So we can just go through it. Okay, so first scenario is we have these supports over here. Now, again, I'm kind of at that phase right now with Bitcoin where I'm going to allow it to bounce and buy confirmation. Okay, but the fact that we're pulling back into support, again, get your risk to really good levels when it comes to entering. So if we scroll this down here and we track this down, right, and we do see some life, get rid of this. Okay, life over here, that for me is going to be the long. And I will be TPing at 68,000, right? So if we kind of look at that, good trade, right? Good risk to reward trade. If we don't hold 64,000, that's why I want to see a bounce first and a break of a trend, right? Then I need to look at where's the next supports. Okay, so I bring out a couple of tools now. So again, the bottom trend line is quite important, right? And secondly, if I then put a horizontal, it lines up to this area over here, right? 63,600. Okay, even down to 63,400, which then means below that, I'm quite bearish. Below that, I'm looking at the scenario. Now, again, the scenarios look like this for me. These are the two scenarios we're looking at. The first one is a bounce to 63 or drop down to 63,400. That's the one that I'm paying attention to. Okay. The second one is we lose that, we retest the trend, and we go down to 58,000, then a strong buy up. The more we come down, the more liquidity will build to the upside. Okay. And that's why for me, I'm just preserving. For as long as we have this trend here, the market is going to try to shake you out. Right. And that's why for me, I'm preserving capital, right? And I want to nail the next big, great trade. And that's why for now, I'm a bit of gold trading right now, right? These things, unless I see us bounce up to support, I'll speak around some shorts a little bit later in the stream. Okay. This is kind of the two plays that I'm paying attention to here, right? So that's why. So again, anything kind of below this area here of 63,000, I start thinking around new lows. Now, a couple of things yet again to just clarify the new lows, why I think there is, and I don't think it's much lower, but I do think we go slightly lower, right? Again, we have the 618, right? The 618 weekly fib, right? That's a very, very, very big support, and there's horizontal supports there, right? Plus, RSI's higher time frame are getting to the bottom, right? Plus, we have weekly bullish divergence, right? So there's a bunch of signs over there to say that we can bounce in this area over here. Give me 2 secs. Why is this messing up? Okay, next part. Sorry, I lost my bearings there a little bit. Okay, then I want to speak around this, guys. So this is the area again where I'm paying attention to, yes, but then I want to speak around the time frame. Why I think it's so important now to understand that in the next 7 to 10 days, it's very likely we are breaking one of these trends. Right? So if we do see a bounce here and we start to break these trends, we need to start looking at the higher time frame views over here. Right? The higher time frame squeeze to the upside. Oof. Just give me 2 secs, guys. I'm feeling extremely lightheaded. Just a quick breather. Wow. I was up until 3 o'clock. My cat's sick at the moment, so my sleep has not been great last night. I'm losing my thoughts a little bit here. Let me know in the chat so long, guys, what tokens you want me to chart. I'm going to get to them now. I'm just feeling a little bit woozy. Yes. Give me the altcoins. Let's go. Okay. I thought I was slowly coming back. It's a nice little spin over there. Okay, ICP, gold, Tau, XRP, Turbo. Jeez, I haven't had Turbo in a long time. Okay, coming back. Jeez. Okay, so I want to go back 2 secs. So I gave you guys my reasons over here, right? But another thing just to back that chart of why I think we can go to these, that slightly lower low, again, just comes down to this Bitcoin dominance chart, right? This thing is making an uprising wedge right now, okay? And this one even here is indicating a beautiful trap, right? We push up, which means markets come down, get everyone to really get bearish, and then send it back down to support. right? So that, don't puke. I didn't puke, I just don't pass out, bro. It's not about puking, I'm not nauseous, I'm just like, woohoo! Get a nice little free high here at the moment. Okay, so again, that is a very important one to pay attention to. Then I want to go through a couple of plays here. So let's go through the trade options that we are seeing right now. So the first one I'm going to go through is the short. Right, let's speak around a possible short scenario. Short, I want to try catch as high as possible when it comes to the supports we've just lost, right? So if we've just lost these supports over here, and I'm looking for a push down to these supports over here, right? I want to try catch the short as possible, as close as possible to this area here, right? As well as putting in this trend, and stop losses will go above this trend, right? So these two simple lines give me an idea, right? This for me makes sense for a short. So if I pop this in over here, that's what makes the short a possibility for me, is a push up to here, which we should test Bitcoin back at 65,200-ish, right? Into this area over here, and then a drop down to these zones. Right? So that's the first one play. Then the second play is a drop down to these areas over here, which is at 63,400. Let's just get the correct trend up in here. This trend is quite skew. There's the long. Stop loss is very likely just under 63,000, back up to the areas of 68 to 69,000. There's the next long. Now I'm giving you these because FOMC can bring volatility to take us to these zones. Right? So for me, if this starts to push down over here, then the third option, right, is just let it do what it needs to do first. Right? Let it just play around. Again, out of that, you will get something like this, and that will create the short opportunity over here down to 58,000. Guys, I'm longing a lot here at 58. Like, we are going to build incredible positions from here to the upside if we get this. I'm hoping we get it, right? Not that I want to be bearish at all, but for me, that is really a sexy zone where we can build on top of over the next couple of weeks and really have an incredible trade. Over here, and again, if we want to turn bullish, let's get up there, let's make a flag, and then we start getting bullish from this area over here. Okay, let's jump into altcoins. The interesting one. So alts are actually a little bit ahead of Bitcoin right now. So they're actually still in support, which is interesting, right? Which means that yet again, there is a bull flag possibility that's playing here right now. Are these guys playing ping pong in my show? Table tennis. Who are we finding? Who is it?
It's Ran.
It's Ran. Just wait. Is the light on? What does this light mean, eh? Do you know? No, I'm actually live. You can play, it's fun. But so I just had to go shout at the boss quickly. Playing table tennis in my show. You know, if I had to do that in his stream, right? Okay, let's go. So here's alts on support, which means that alts, we actually have a little bit of more opportunity if we wanted to short, right? So right now, as it stands, it is saying a temporary little bounce up. But if we see later, specifically after FOMC, we start to lose here, there is an opportunity on shorts here, okay? But at the same point, bullishness, if things go good today, right, make sure you're following Sniper Trading, guys. Sniper Trading, I'm doing a show later, probably after FOMC or close to FOMC. See, the wife's messaging me, gold's pumping. Oh, thanks, babe. I appreciate it. She's telling me that I'm losing money. After FOMC, if we start to see a close outside this wedge, so guys, put this wedge in on your 4-hour time frame. Because once we start closing and consolidating outside one of these, it's going to give us a good sign on the next trades, right? Bitcoin dominance coming down, right? Coming down quite aggressively today, actually, right? So it's starting to lose these trends here. So again, is this the Bitcoin catch-up that's in play, right? That's the first thing, right? Or are we actually coiling up for a strong bounce and Bitcoin's going to take over, right? This is very interesting. FOMC does tend to change these things. So we're going to go through this shortly. Well, definitely from tomorrow's stream as well. Okay, ETH. There's ETH, last trends, actually coming into a short zone, which means let's fire up the damn WEEX account. Let's fire it up. So guys, again, I'm trading $1,000 accounts on WEEX. Every Wednesday, I'm going to update the accounts. I took a small, what did I take? A long. What actually happened here last week? Oh, Arweave. Okay. What actually happened here? Okay, so I'm sitting a little bit up on $1,000. I'm 1,067. Interesting. Now, in the last stream, I did put limit orders. Okay, I put a limit order at Bitcoin at 58,200. I am not removing that. Right, I'm keeping that one there for now. But I'm going to take, with $300, so 30% of the account. I'm looking at a possible little short today. Right, so let's see if ETH is available for a little short. It actually doesn't look too bad for a short. So let's put this in here, this trend. I want to see the trend's correct. Yep, coming, this is where I'll short it, if I'm going to short it. So I'm going to just take a little short up over here. So again, guys, I'm going to trade this account. No major time frame on this account, but I want to trade it up nicely this year and see how far we can take $1,000. Okay, so let's pop this in. I just want to do a little setup here. What will my risk be right now? Around 90. Okay, so my cost per trade, if I'm trading $300, how much I want to lose? I'm going to put around $40 on the line. Okay, so let's go here. Play with some leverage here. Okay, so if I want to short right now with 100% of $300 on that, where do I want to put my stop loss? Is at 1,790. So 1,790 is where I'll put my stop loss. Okay, $32. There we go. So again, I don't choose the leverage. I just put the leverage amount. All right, see if there's enough money there. Scroll it full, see how much I'm risking. Again, I'm going to lose an extra $5 here on fees. So I must keep that in mind. That's it. Now, if this said $15, then I'd go to a 20x. Right? So I don't set the leverage. The leverage happens on my cost per trade. Okay, open up the short with a stop loss. Boom. Okay, I've got something in the game here. Let me just double check I'm happy with where my stop loss. I feel like my stop loss is right in the resistance here. Okay, I'm going to go slightly up on the stop. What am I risking now? Let's see. So again, I'm going to trade 30% of the money. My main amount is sitting lower down. Okay, what am I sitting at with risk over here? Let's see. $37, so $40. $40 is my risk over there. So okay, there we go. There's one of my first trades right now. Is I'm in a ETH short. Now, let's look at where I'm going to TP. It's not going to be a long short here. I don't want to hold shorts for too long. Okay, so my TP will be this area of 1,735. So let's put it in. Let's put it in. Edit. Okay, that's my stop loss. Why is it not letting me? How do I get it to give me my TP as well? Otherwise, I'm going to put my TP here. Okay. My mic back. There we go. Okay, $66. That doesn't sound great. That's not a great risk to reward here. Let's see. Do we need some more? Let's go for the bigger short here. Okay, so if that trend's there, then these are the supports over here. Okay, 1750. Okay, 1705. There we go. That's a bit better. 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio. So that is the trade that I'm setting on ETH right now. Okay, so you guys can see it. Make it nice and big. There's the trade. That's the first one. Okay. Sheldon, did Rand pay what? What do you think? And you know me, I've shaved my hair on the internet. I've eaten the world's smelliest fish when I lost bets. No, he has not. You got my strike. Okay. Let's get this back in here. There we go. Okay, amazing. There is the ETH play there. Let's see. Okay, altcoins. there's Sol. So same thing. There's Sol has lost the trend. So Sol, if we were shorting, it's at 73. But for me, not too much shorts is the play right now. Rather paying attention to buys, but they are shorts, right? So if you don't want to take this short over here, the short will be up over here. Just remember FOMCs later. So just keep that in mind, right? We kind of want to try get the pre-dump before FOMC, right? That is something we want to pay attention to. But if I had to look at Sol and look at where we could see a nice trade here, it looks like a 1-2, guys. It doesn't look like a crazy, incredible trade. So Sol's not really the short for now. However, I do want to speak around the long. I think there is incredible longs over here. And if things get bad, if that dominance drops, I'm still slightly optimistic, but I'm losing faith in it, like every day, a little bit by little bit, that we could get a possible $50, $60, $58 new low in Bitcoin. Like let's see how that plays out. Okay, let's see how the rest of the alts. Okay, nice injective pullback. So this could be a fun one if markets turn bullish. So this one's actually coming to support. Quite interesting. Now, again, I won't touch it just yet, but I will put in this trend here. If we see a break in this trend over the next 24 to 48 hours, there's a long here. Right, so we'll keep this in mind, but this will be a great long in the next day or two. So this is a radar. Everyone remember, we need to talk about this tomorrow, right? Is this over here. So this could be a nice one that's setting itself up. Zcash just absolutely strong right now. I wouldn't be long or short in this right now. But it's just really nice to see the strength there. Neo Protocol, Ondo, okay, the standard ones that I've been speaking around. Now, it is time for your guys' altcoins. Before we jump into it, I just want to see if I'm getting smashed. No, it's actually coming down again. Yes. Go down. Yes, go down, go down, go down. Go down, break this trend. It'll be a big trade, guys. Not actually a lot of money, but I realized with TradFi, you can actually trade like incredible size. I heard a little birdie that in the next, I think maybe end of next week, I'm starting like a very cool 3-day challenge. I'm only teaching you guys how to trade gold, and I'm teaching you how to trade these things with size. Just an example on this trade. So if this trade does go down 3%, right, I'll basically make $60,000 on $5,000 that I have in the account, with only $400 risk, right? So $400 risk to make $60,000, and my total capital was $5,000, right? So watch the streams next week, specific next week Friday. Put it in your calendar now. Put it in your thing. It's actually soon. We'll probably launch. When are we launching, Maddie? Monday. Not launching, but when can we drop the link?
Keep an eye out Monday, yeah.
Yeah. So Monday, set an alarm to just join, and 500 people with me. We're gonna do something amazing. So it's gonna be fun. We're gonna spend 3 days together. A lot of fun. Okay. Bring it, fam. Bring me your coins. AVAX. Oh, just before we do this, I forgot. Sometimes in life, you just have to say, fuck it. Okay? Now, in that, I mean, Phuket, right? Guys, we got something amazing with WEEX. So again, many of you guys have used my link before. If you haven't, you got an opportunity right now to sign up. All right, here's the link below. Where is it? And here we go. We'll sign up on the WEEX link, okay? And then we have something very cool. So what we have is we have 15 days of us to trade along, right? You're trading anyway, and we create volume. And through volume, we get these different targets. Now, I want to show you here that there's a couple of things. If you just watch and subscribe, there's a USDT. So if no one's got an account before you open up accounts, right, just watch and subscribe, right? Subscribe to me, subscribe to WEEX, right? You get a prize, right? Register for the event, right? Fill in your user ID, right? Just a couple of basic things here. For anyone that's looking for exchange right now, this is great. But I want to show you something that's amazing, right? Sometimes in life, you just got to say Phuket, right? So Phuket, there is a trip to win in the next 15 days. Right, and this is for individual, any traders. Now, again, we actually rarely underestimate how much volume we can create as an individual trader, not even with a lot of capital, right? Consistent trading, keeping to the rules, staying alive, and doing that, you accumulate a lot of volume, right? And what we've done here is we have 15 days, okay, to build our way up. Now, I want to show you guys here the prizes, okay? So a 5-night luxury escape and private yacht experience, right? If you get up to $10 million, right, in trading volume, right? Look at this, $10 million in trading volume, right? There's going to be a winner we are choosing. So look at this. Then there's a 4-night private villa stay and fine dining package. Guys, when did last you take your lady on holiday? When last you take the husband on holiday? I don't know, is it like when last? Come on, some cocktails on the beach, right? Here's an opportunity. It doesn't cost any physical money, it just takes your time and efforts of you guys trading up. So this is a very massive shout out to WEEX for this. This is very cool. In a bear market where holidays are scarce, right? I don't know when last you guys went on holiday, but I haven't been on the beach for a while. I'm just sitting grinding and trying to get through the damn bear. But yeah, there's a lot of very cool things that we're going to be providing for you guys, but we do need to smash a volume target. So anyone that wants to be a part of it, there's a link below in the description. Anyone that has a link, trade up on your WEEX accounts this week, right? Trade up. We've got 14 days. Make it a priority. And let's build a way up so we can get some people to the beach. Let's go. How much do we have to hit that I can join them? Then I'll bring my wife. You guys bring your wife or husband, and we just go chill and drink cocktails for like a few days. And we trade. We'll trade. We'll have our laptops there by the pool. So it'll be a lot of fun. Okay, let's get back. So here's AVAX. Okay, so if we look at this over here. Okay, so possible shorts here. Okay, let's just see here. Okay, so if I was going to like scrunch down on a short here, like a scalp short, right? I'd look at a possible short here with a very tight stop. So my stop will be around 1.5% without leverage, okay? And it will be a push down to these lows here, which is around 5% to the downside. How do I get to those lows? Just really tracking down these supports here. Right? Gives me an idea of where we can come down to over here. Right? So this is like a little bit of a short if I wanted to short. Again, guys, I'm not shorting over a whole bunch of altcoins. The only short I'm in is ETH. I'm sticking a little bit to the major alts when it comes to shorts. My mind is really preparing for the longs, but that could be a possibility. Okay, but let's go to the plays here on AVAX. So if you draw here on the 4-hour, you will see these trends, and they're actually very strong trends. And it's highlighting something that's quite interesting. So the first thing is, don't tell me my gold. How's my gold doing here? So the first thing is that there's a lot of support here, right? There's literally 3 bounces on these support trends that we're seeing at the bottom zone here, and as well as the top, which means we could chop around for a little while. Okay, but secondly, it does mean that once we break one of these, it's very likely we're going to see a break to 1 or 2 of the upside. So again, if we lose the bottom supports, I'm looking for push down to 6.4. If we lose that, it is 5.8 for high time frame. That for me is like incredible high time frame entries. For the longs, however, because we do need to also think at any point this market can turn bullish, right? A push up here, and there could be a strong opportunity for a push up to around $8. It could be up to a 20% move to the upside, right? So very, very, very interesting. Thank you. I'm glad you love the show. Great. Great. You know where we would love the show more? It's on the beach. That's where we would love the show more, like both of us, right? It'll be fun. Okay, next one. Let's go. Injective. Let's fly through altcoins now. Okay, INJ. Can't believe Rand played table tennis in my show. Okay, this is that support that I just spoke around, guys. Only problem is what I'm concerned about is the whole market's just lost support, and this thing's at a great area, right? So again, I'm not interested in kind of longing it right now, but I'm interested to see, hey, if this market somehow maybe fakes out or just chills, and then FOMC brings out a strong spark, like keep an eye on this trend here. Above this trend is a very good long, right? But when it comes to the next play here of downside, guys, it's very likely if we start to see some redness come into this market. Good areas we're looking to fish here is close to the $5 mark, but there is a possibility of 4.5. Those are like big spot and long-term accumulation zones for me. Okay, as it bounces, hits the trend, that will become a point of when do I start trading leverage, right? You've got to kind of separate the mind. Leverage, you want to try to be as certain as possible. So you don't want to guess as much as possible. When it comes to investing in that, you can slightly guess and buy at strong levels. As long as you're buying a token on a massive discount, you're buying a good token, and you're buying at strong levels, it's always going to be a good strategy. It's very likely you're going to make money that way. When it comes to leverage, though, you can get liquidated if you get it wrong, right? You don't put a stop loss. Stop losses are important. But nonetheless, it's I wait for a bounce, wait for confirmation, wait for break a trend. Okay, next one. Let's go. Let's go. Near. I went through these guys. Let's bring some fresh ones here. Let's see here. I did go through near, didn't I? I go through near. Okay, maybe I didn't. Let's bring near up and then some fresh ones. I feel like I've spoken near and these coins every show. Okay, so let's see where near is at. Okay, so near's temporary support is at 2.13, 2.15, right? This is big support zones. Specifically, Bitcoin's going to hold 64,000, right? Then I'm expecting something like this. If we don't hold 64 and we go to 58,000, then near is looking for these targets down here at 1.6 to 1.8. That for me is the spots on long-term entries, right? But at the same point, there's two big bounce zones here. So once we see the bounce, right, and we break the trends, that's going to be the trigger points. Maybe here or maybe slightly lower down over here. That's the trigger points for leverage, right? So for now, as it stands, I have the right to still think 1.8, 1.6, okay? But I must keep in mind that if you put in this top trend, that would be a nice trigger point trend. You say, hey, we might not get down there again, all right? So I'm going to long on this here. But the important thing here is when you draw a trend like that, there's a bit of time. So don't get trapped out in between and change your mind too quickly. Right, let it play out and let it break out the high time frames. I am quite nervous to see if we see abnormal moves today. So what happens if FOMC comes out and we just see a fat candle, right? Let it settle. Then we'll evaluate. Because it can always just do something like that, right? Keep that in mind. So don't allow the emotions to rise up today. We see a fat candle that comes out and just like everything we spoke about today just like went like huge. Let it settle. Settle is always the time where you make decisions. Okay, Tao. How's my short? Oof, 37 cents up. 47 cents. We are eating great lunch today. Okay, where are we? Ciao. You know, guys, I want to get through. You remember I said there's that 8-day time frame on where I see like us making a bigger move. Once we get through there, then I want to try a little bit more aggressive. For now, like I'm keeping my low scenario, and then I'm basically trading with like 30% of the cash. But once we broke through one of those trends, then it says, okay, it's very likely 2 weeks we're going in this direction. Then I want to get aggressive, right? So follow through every week. It's going to be fun. Tao, big support zones. Let's go through them. So if it's a fast dump today, big support sitting here at $222. That's big support. Very likely we do bounce there. The more I kind of look at it here, bring this up. The more I look at it, where is my, is something like this. And if we do turn bearish, something like that, okay, but this could be a very strong, good entry. So right now, that's kind of the zone. Again, lower Bitcoin, we're looking at areas of the 160s, 180s. It's kind of nice. Everything's kind of respecting similar at the moment. And just to show you guys this trend we broke out recently, that's also showing that area of that 220. So we actually put two trend lines in here. They're both lining up to this zone here. Okay, so keep that in mind. SNX. Remember, guys, this is everyone else's tokens, so go do some research on them. If you like them, it's your choice. Because I'm talking about doesn't mean I am trading them. Okay, keep that trend in. You're bearish for as long as we're below that trend. Once you break that trend, good opportunities, good trades. And remember, the first area, so if this goes here and then breaks the trend, and let's say I'm entering with a stop loss here, very good risk to reward, but I kind of always look at, okay, where did it come from? There's the move, and mid-range is kind of TPs for me, right? Anywhere in this mid-range is the TP zones, right? Good risk to reward on that over there. High time frame, not much there right now, kind of a falling knife, so I'd wait for that key trend. But there's a good trade incoming. Okay, last one, BNB. You guys enjoying the show? If so, smash up the likes. BNB's at $600. Oh, okay. This is interesting. Let's go to the weekly here. Oh, BNB's in trouble. Yeah, this is not great, to be honest. This is something I can't be waiting for some nice, good entries here at the late early 500s to the early 400s. That's kind of where I'd be waiting for now. And it's still very far from a weekly trend. Again, am I bullish on BNB high time frame? Yes, like, you know, specifically fundamentally and stuff I am. But like when it comes to looking at buys, like it's kind of scenario I'm paying attention to right now. Not right now, but for now. Short time frame might be, I'd like to short a little bit higher. But yes, definitely weakness in this over here. Guys, have a fantastic day. Remember, if you don't have, here we go. Here's the links to sign up here. Let's get our butts to the beach. Cocktails, lobster, leverage. Have a great day. See you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.